Episode 5, Boys to Mensa. How come when I make up paper airplanes, I get detention, but Mean Kids doesn't? That airplane Mean Kids made was impressive. I withdraw the question indeed. I think this is one of the episodes that I feel like this is where Sean's kind of bad boy persona started really being carved out when he got detention in art. That's what makes me one of the greats. This is one of those times he really should have listened to Sean. Don't complicate your life. Crumple that test, those test answers up right now. If I was a smarter person, I might listen to you, but I'm not. Oh, the way Mr. Feeney makes a big deal over Corey's big test results. It is a big deal. Uh-oh. Eric and Morgan were always really cute together. I thought it was very sweet. Corey conducting classical music always struck me as funny. They always did a really good job of kind of, giving that kid perspective where when kids thought they were getting away with something, but the parents obviously knew. And I think that Amy and Alan always did a really good job of kind of playing that game on this show. Yeah, we know that you don't know that we know yet. Morgan, the little zombie. Mom's horrified. Dad's into it. Of course, Corey and Sean think they can outwit Minkus. Nah. And here, Mr. Feeney's trying to be nice and get Corey to confess. Don't you love Halloween? No one is who they seem to be. Oh, just full circle. Corey, you can't blame Sean. Sean told you to throw that test away. That genius test lady was really snobbish. Morgan's little I'm a zombie, bye, snobby, genius lady. That was super nice that his parents let him still have Halloween even though he cheated and lied. Mr. Feeney thing. When they don't understand the material, it's my fault, and I will try harder. I think that's really cool of you, Mr. Feeney. I'm cool. God help me. Oh my God, the ending scenes with the credits is why is Morgan answering the door by herself? And then Mr. Feeney's giving out rollers and I need some candy. Corey has that other kid tell Mr. Feeney, oh, he says you're the best teacher in the whole school. Oh, I'm pleased I wasn't born yesterday, Mr. Matthews. Oops, sorry, wrong kid. Okay, so I know at the beginning of this video I said that this was episode 5. I know, it's episode 6. I am just doing all of these podcasts together is a blur. I am just trying to catch up, and I'm almost there because I said I was going to catch up. One more after this and I'm caught up. Yes, I have friends who are also trying to go from Apple to Android or vice versa, and it is a very difficult transition from what I hear. So, yes, we are all now the parents with the VCR. For those of you who don't know what that means, look it up. I think I'm going to have to start calling August. I love Will so much. He's so hilarious. The Cali speak was delightfully humorous. The winner won. I can't even do it. Yes, Jinkos. Oh man, those were a 90s staple. The 90s staples were always big and oversized, and they were awful. It was just awful. I don't think I was a fan then either. Looking back, I just go, ugh, no. I guess we'll never really know whose idea this podcast really was. It'll just be the question to end all questions. Marty, who remembers The Sandlot like everybody? And Delirious. I forgot he was in Delirious. That is a great movie. I should rewatch that. Okay, so when Topanga says, Ryder, do you smell toast? I think that should be a shirt. Do you smell toast? Okay, so that teeth growing teeth doll that Danielle was talking about, I don't remember that one. Does anyone remember that one? And it's probably why we can't remember it, because I really can't imagine that really taking off, like, at all, because it really sounds creepy. It's really cool to hear from Marty. So far their guests have just been really thoroughly enjoyable, and I can't always say that about every podcast. Nothing against anything or anyone, just in my opinion. And that is crazy that Marty actually died and came back. That, I mean, and then he left the business. That kind of says a lot. Bravo, sir, for coming back. You had a lot to come back from. And Danielle's gift wrapping story is so great. I'm amazed that girl that didn't help her didn't lose her job. I mean, that's pretty cool. That's pretty wild. But it is a reverse Hollywood story. It is crazy. And yes, being a kid is hard, but it's still better than being an adult. And you're an adult longer than you are a kid. So just enjoy being a kid, you know, because in most aspects, when you get to be an adult, you're like, dang, I had it way easier than I realized. Oh my God, Will not being invited to Danielle's kid's birthday party is just so funny. And like Danielle talking about being in the ticket machine is just hysterical. But yeah, like, I like, well, oh, it's not stealing if they don't put up a fight. Oh, you're so silly. And you know, I can totally see Will like going crazy wild at Chuck E. Cheese. Like, who else can see this? And it's so sad, like crazy that everyone thought Lily, aka First Morgan, died. Like, what? Rumors, man. You got to be careful of those rumors. And, you know, I also pointed out that this episode really started carving out Sean as the bad boy. So I was right on that one. Woohoo! And oh my God, Ryder making the ring for his wife. I mean, bravo, sir. And yes, nobody bought Corey as a genius, but it is cool that they didn't call him out on it. You know, kind of let him realize his own mistake. And I thought Corey was mischievous, but he was just in a good way, maybe. And then Sean, you know, like the hair thing with Sean was just, I always thought that was just kind of like his trademark almost. Like that was just his thing. And I've always thought of Sean's name as S-H-A-W-N. So that's kind of crazy. And yes, it's pretty wild that they brought in an actual symphony conductor to teach Ben how to do the symphony conducting with his big finger. His big foam finger. Genius envy, penis envy joke. That was interesting. Anytown, USA was definitely the vibe of this show. And it honestly worked. That's funny that she can't act in a jacket though, because they did put her in a lot of jackets and I thought she did fine. So that's really funny. And you know what? I also figure out my clothes before, if I have something going on the next day, I have to figure it out the night before too, because clothes do stress me out. So I totally understand that. And that snobby woman at the end from the Genius Academy or whatever, she was very classist. That was really, that didn't sit well with me. It was like, ooh, like, oh, yeah, now. And it is interesting that they specifically took out that grounding scene in Girl Meets World. That was an interesting tidbit. And you know what, Indy? I agree. I wanted more Topanga too. That's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, feel free to like and subscribe. Until next time.